cool. So as I said, I was just watching Subi Zimmerman, and she was really talking about, she's the Instagram expert. And what she did was use Blab, and she was telling people to go back to her Instagram account, but she was doing it from a learning perspective. So saying, this is what I did on Instagram, and I did this, I did this little post for my birthday, and I was giving away. You can go find the photo over there, and somebody's holding up the actual iPad and showing the photo. And then she was saying you could also go there now, and if you go to this post and you hashtag this, you can win something else. So I thought that was a really clever way from Blab to kind of take you through to another program.
Right. And I know I've been on a few Blabs where they give everybody that jumps into the panel a chance to talk about who they are, what they do, and, throw in a link to, an opt-in page, or because you're right, it is important to transfer the connection here into, a call to action, whether it's go check out my Instagram, go like my Facebook page, sign up to get on my list so you can get more great tips like this, what we've been sharing in the Blab. Yeah. And I know I've been really using Twitter after the fact. Yeah. To connect back, to circle back with the people I've been in a Blab with. Absolutely. Sending like those quick little 30 seconds or less video message saying, hey, it was great to connect and catch up and, talk to you on the Blab.
That's such a cool idea. That's a great idea.
It's really valuable because it kind of shocks people. They're like, whoa, you sent me a video? Like little old me?
Yeah. Yeah, that's so awesome. Hey, we've got Luke. Luke's coming.
How are you, Sean? Can you hear me?
Yep, I hear you, Luke.
Very cool. Very cool. I saw the title and figured I would jump in and hang out with you gentlemen and ladies. There we go. Juanita came back.
Oh, am I coming in and out? Am I freezing?
Maybe it's just on my end.
No, well, I'm not losing you. I'm like getting a still for you, Juanita. Yeah, it's fine. Like you move. I see you move for a minute, and then I get a still for the other part.
I'll have to make sure my mouth is in a really good position, so my still is not.
The one I'm looking at right now is a pretty good still. Not in any strange. Not like some of those YouTube thumbnails can be, where you're like.
Yeah. yeah, they can be quite funny. Hey, Luke, tell us a little bit about you and what's your favorite social media channel and why?
Yeah, absolutely. So I own a 17-person digital advertising agency near Pittsburgh. We do website design, social media, and video production. I come from a video production background, and actually I'm a daily vlogger myself. So I tend to really enjoy video. I've been on, I have been on Blab for 11 days now. It actually tells you in your bio. I use all the social media platforms because I'm a social media consultant, and we have to do that for our clients. But my favorite before I got on Blab was probably Snapchat or Instagram. And then for the way that I actually push my video blogs out, it surprises some people. It's actually not through YouTube. It's through Facebook.
Oh, wow.
Facebook video is becoming a really, really great place to attract an audience. But I've been on Blab now for 11 days and have made a ton of contacts. I've brought in new business, made a lot of great new contacts with people. I do a lot of public speaking. I've actually booked some gigs through that. And just the interaction that you're getting, like I've seen Sean's avatar on a handful of Blabs, and this is the first time I've seen Sean's face. And just that side of this
lazy Labor Day look here.
Yeah.
That side of this social media platform is really, honestly, has made it one of my favorite ones, just over the past week and a half, because you can put a face to the people that you're talking to, unlike even Periscope. If this were Juanita's Periscope, we could see Juanita, but she couldn't see me. She couldn't see Sean. So I really am enjoying Blab right now.
I do. I mean, it's kind of Blab is kind of like a mixture of all of them put together, isn't it? It's the only the difference between this and Periscope is Periscope you are walking around and you're kind of showing off stuff, and that's the difference.
Right.
So I think there's a place for both of them, Periscope and this, but I am enjoying Blab. It is interesting. So I've been on Blab, guys. I think today's my 7th day officially. And just so that you know, Luke and Sean, I'm in New Zealand at the moment. So it is 10:15 in the morning here on Tuesday morning.
Very cool.
We've spoken before, Juanita, so I remember you down there in Kiwiville.
Yeah. Sean and I have been interacting quite a bit, and we've Skyped. But I think that is so great, is that we can connect across the world like we are now, sitting in each other's homes and just chat about.
We got you in New Zealand.
Yeah.
Luke said he's in Pittsburgh.
Yes.
And I'm in Antigua, Guatemala.
Oh, wow. I did not realize that.
Yes, of course you are. Of course you are. So
the whole world's connected.
So look, I'm interested because you were saying you use Facebook for your vlog. So you're actually vlogging on a website and then you're moving the link through to Facebook, or are you actually uploading the video, or what are you doing there?
No, I will, if I can find you guys again, I'm going to leave the link. There's the Facebook URL. I upload direct to Facebook. So one of the big mistakes that a lot of people make is when they do post a video to Facebook, they take a YouTube link and they post it on Facebook. Facebook is competing head on head with YouTube now, to where the best way to get the most interaction on your videos is to do direct uploads. Yeah, right. So I'm creating movies every single day, just documenting what it's like to be a young entrepreneur running a marketing agency, and I'm involved in a few other businesses as well. And then I'm giving motivational or social media advice to either business owners or young adults coming out of college. I create that video. It's between 3 to 7 minutes, and I upload that directly to Facebook. Now, I also upload it to YouTube as well. And so I'm not, a lot of people will upload it to one place and then embed it somewhere else. They'll upload it to YouTube and then post that YouTube link on Facebook. I take the time to do both. The channel I just posted in the comment section, I actually just created that Facebook personality page. I was using a lot of my personal Facebook account just to kind of get it rolling, to gauge it. And this past Saturday was the 50th day in a row that I've created something. So now I've seen kind of the life that it's going to take, and people are really starting to react to the videos. So I went ahead, I created a Facebook personality page, and I'm putting more attention on that than I am on my YouTube channel, because I can target those videos. If I know that the people that are going to be interested in this are business professionals from 19 to 35 or 40, I can target those folks through Facebook, something you really can't do on YouTube.
Hey, I'm looking at that page now, and it looks really awesome. It's like very, very professional. I can see the videos on it. It's mainly videos on there. Like that.
Yeah, it's really just a video feed. I try to mix in some photos. I mean, you see the second piece of content down as a photo of my dog. I mean, I try to mix in some text so that you get another look at, who I am, other than just through video. But the main pieces of content that I'm pushing out on there are video.
Yeah. Hey, Sean, what in terms of your favorite social media channel, like what's your, what's your take? What do you do that's a little bit different?
On the video, on the social media channels?
Yeah. I mean, like,
well, I know on Facebook, I do a lot of group interaction.
Yeah.
And that's been on that platform, that's been my most effective tool. Of course, I'm posting to my page. I post to my personal profile. But the most effective way on Facebook for me has been watching the groups, watching for people asking questions that I can answer, or asking opinions on different things. And so I can jump in. And that's been very effective on Facebook.
Yeah.
I've actually I haven't really hosted my own Blab yet, even though I've been on here 41 days.
Wow.
But I just checked when Luke was saying, but I'm always willing to jump into, like I did with you. You know, I've jumped in a few blabs where the sound wasn't working, so I just jumped in the seat to hold the blab, especially on the subscribed ones, because I've seen it happen a few times that people, you know, had a good subscription to their blab and technical glitches, they lost it and they had to try and move the audience over. But I actually did get invited to co-host one this past Sunday. I mean, I was specifically asked to co-host it. It's a little Sunday afternoon or Sunday morning blab that started not yesterday, but a week before.
Right.
And it was such a big hit. You know, it was a great discussion. And so we're working on like a rotating host. So one person's not stuck, you know, jumping on the blab and hosting it every Sunday. But we did a great talk on mindset and it being the key system in the business. And it was really a powerful discussion. And I missed half the comments because they were almost flying on blab like Periscope.
Yeah.
It was crazy.
I think as the blabs are more popular, that's kind of what's gonna happen, and you're gonna have to get people on to help you.
Yeah, and we actually did that even going in. The main host had actually asked somebody to moderate the comments and make people, you know, keep the interaction there, reserve the questions so that they could get it, you know, so we could keep up with them. Because that's the one thing on blab is that you kind of get caught up in the discussion sometimes and you forget to look over and see that people are joining or people have asked a question.
Yeah.
Which, if anybody in the bullpen or anybody over here doesn't know about the /Q.
Yeah.
So if you type if you type the regular /Q, a space, and then ask your question, it will highlight it so that it's easier for the host or panelist to see it.
Oh, very cool.
Oh, awesome.
That's cool.
And I've actually seen people use that not so much just to ask questions, but to kind of just highlight a comment, you know, so again.
Like I've just done there. Thompson has done that. Sarah's done that as well. So that's pretty cool. There we go. I was wondering how they did that. To add to that, and that's something that I learned on a blab yesterday, is if you put your name of your blab in and you put /help after, somebody from blab will actually jump onto your blab if you are having problems and they'll sit in and help.
And it's actually, you want to use the @ symbol help.
Oh, is it? Okay, because they just said /help.
As long timers on blab, we call that the bat signal.
Okay. The long timers, the 41 days.
Because what we'll do is if we want somebody specific to come to the blab, we'll mention them even if they're not in the blab. And if they have their notifications turned on, they'll get notification.
Right. And
that will usually, depending on the person, will bring them into the blab.
Right. Okay. Very, very cool. Hey, if anybody wants to jump in here and tell us what your favorite social media channel is and why, feel free to jump in and grab a seat. You know, I'm
going to hop off and open up a seat for whoever wants to come in. It was a pleasure meeting you all. I just did my first blab today, Sean. I've been jumping in folks' blabs for the past week and a half and have grown a little bit of a following on here. But I just had my first one today, and I think we had over 40 or 50 people.
That's awesome.
Jumped in. We're going to do one tomorrow at 4:00 Eastern here in the U.S. If you all would like to jump on, I'd love to. We're going to talk about video and how to use video content. We use blab as an example as well. So if you all want to jump in and hang out.
Scheduling that, Luke?
That's very cool. We'll go in and subscribe. Luke, is it already set up?
There it is.
Yep, I just put the link in for you. Juanita, it was a pleasure meeting you. Sean, good to see you finally face-to-face, and we'll talk to you all soon.
Hey, Luke, thanks. It was great meeting you too. See you guys. Thanks, hey. Sean, so tell us a little bit more about what you've been up to in terms of your social media. What's been working for you? I love Facebook groups because that's kind of, you know, it's a great place to to build a profile and to get to know people as well, and to show your strengths or to highlight your strengths, and for people
and
to get to know you.
Relationships.
Yeah,
and start to build those relationships, because that's, in the end, that's what it's all about. You know, I was actually saw one, and I watched a little bit of it when I was out having my cigarette, and they were talking about, it is all about relationship. You don't, you can't just meet somebody, friend them, and then zap them with your, sign up for my opt-in list or buy my thing.
No, and I think that is happening so much at the moment on LinkedIn, and it's kind of sad because you have people that are connecting with you, and then the first message that gets sent is a long kind of sales pitch, and it's awful. Kind of a ruling for me is, if somebody does that, I'll send them a little warning, little note to go, hey, you know what, this is not great etiquette, and if they do it again or they don't respond back, I just take them off, because you're going to be scammed.
It's made me a lot more guarded across all platforms.
Yeah.
To do a lot more research before I click accept on, if they're sending a like on Instagram, Twitter, those ones, Pinterest, you really can't, they're following you. You don't have to follow them back. But on LinkedIn, Facebook, where, they're trying to make that connection, I'm very guarded about clicking accept.
Yeah. I have in LinkedIn, I actually have a little bit of a routine that I go through, especially the ones that come through and you can see that they could be fake profiles. So two things that you can do, and this is just a few little tips from a LinkedIn point of view, two things that I end up doing is, there is a program that does facial recognition. So if you take the photo and you throw it into the program, it will actually tell you where that photo has been used before. And so if it belongs to a stock photo or anything like that, you can pick up that it was a stock photo. If it belongs to somebody else, you'll actually find who it belongs to online. So that's a pretty cool little thing to do. And then the next thing is, if you take the summary section, because people that tend to do these fake profiles to copy summary sections of other profiles, because they want it to look good, but they don't want to do the work. So if you take the first few lines of the summary section and pop into Google, then the summary section, it will pop up wherever summary section it is. So it's a great way to find the fake profiles. Hey, Ed Johnson is going to jump in here. So let's get Ed on the line. And thank you. Hey, hi.
How's it going?
Good. How are you?
Very good. I think those are some great tips.
Thank you.
And it's rather interesting. One of the things that I've done is to, especially LinkedIn, I didn't know about that technology. I'd love to learn which one that was.
Yeah.
But what I have, when I suspect that the person could be running a scam, I request a video Skype call. That's what I've done.
Oh, wow.
I said, well, okay, so if you've got a business proposal, then let's have a video Skype call.
Right.
And every time they go away. If they're a fraud, they never come back.
Oh, wow.
Because if you can see them, just like we can see each other now on Blab.
Yeah.
That's a real person, and you can see their facial expressions. If they have any kind of knowledge in the area. And then, of course, when we come to Blab and Periscope, now we have to consider the trolls. But I think that people like that, they don't have anything better to do. I think that they should just stay away. Create their own Blab for trolls, okay, and just go away.
Blab for trolls. I love it. And before you carry on, tell us a little bit about you. Like, where are you from? What do you do?
Well, okay, so I do marketing communications and strategic sales.
Yeah.
I've got a background. I used to host 2 radio programs many years ago.
Mm-hmm. I can hear the beautiful voice.
Thank you. If only I can get paid for it. No, it's What I do. I'm representing several brands besides my own, which is Bambutility. Bambutility has been created primarily to support sustainable bamboo globally.
Yeah.
And, pretty true to its name. But I've also been asked to represent different types of brands from around the world to sell into the U.S. or the European markets, the UAE, things like that. So I'm working with a company that wants to launch a very new product in the U.S. And I just got off of a 1-hour Skype call with one of the investors discussing the strategy and how I would take the product to market in the U.S. So that's one of the things that I do.
Cool.
And I will be hosting my own Blabs later this week and next week around sustainability and
very cool
sustainable products, and I'll have some experts that I've known for a few years. And then totally separate, I have a different Blab handle for sports.
Oh, so, wow. How many Blabs have you? Have you got like 3 different Blab handles, or have you just got the 2?
2.
So Ed and then a sports one.
Right. So I'll just do the sports one just for fun. I mean, for the most part, but I do believe that Blab is extremely innovative. I think I was on Periscope for quite some time and discovered Blab, and I think that Blab is a much better. You have more engagement and interaction.
Yeah.
I actually developed some IP many years ago around marketing research for the internet.
Yeah.
For audience engagement. And I think Blab now validates that concept because
very much so, yes.
With this platform, so for me, it's marketing, communications, and sales.
Yeah, that is absolutely fantastic, Ed, and I think Blab does kind of validate it. Interesting thing, like for me, the interesting thing is, and I was saying this earlier, is Periscope does have a place because it's the social media channel that you can kind of walk around and show people stuff, right? And so I watched a woman, it was fascinating. And I think that's the kind of thing that people fascinate people.
Yes.
Watching it, the interaction is not so much like we have here, but it's fascination. And this woman was walking in and out of shops and showing people the clothes and like, do you think I should buy this? Do you think I should buy this? And I said, no, what a waste of time. And I thought, but I've been sitting here for like 10 minutes already watching. I've been sitting for 10 minutes watching it,
Yeah,
So
I think, I think that Periscope and I also love Meerkat. I mean, I love the platform that we see it on Meerkat. I love the just the entire interface that it provides. But I think that when you have Blab, you have the ability for instant responses from your audience and stakeholders. It can be a teaching platform. It could be any sort of platform you want it to be.
Yeah.
This is what the broadcasters have been using for years with split screens. So I think that this really adds validation. This is total engagement, not total, but for panels, this is pretty good.
Yeah.
This is very good. So and then we can see the props. We can get people involved. We can share the seats. I think that creates a real strong community. I mean, if you start looking at marketing, we see what Starbucks took a commodity and created an experience, a community around coffee. Something that they could take 5 cents or 10 cents worth of ingredients and sell it for $4, but create a community around the experience. And I think that Blab has created that community experience. I see that you're in New Zealand, Juanita. Is that correct?
Yes, I am. Yes.
Okay, so I'm in Florida. Sean, where are you?
Antigua, Guatemala.
Guatemala.
I mean, look at this. Like we're all over the world, right?
Yes, and then there are people listening in and watching from different parts of the world, and so
we have Sam, Tweeting Goddess, who's in Ireland.
Yes,
right.
I met
all
Sam
over the place.
I met her yesterday on another Blab. So That was really, really cool. She was with another goddess. There were 2 goddesses in the room.
well,
actually, there were 3 because I was there as well, like.
Well, I tell you, this is really, Blab, tell you what Blab has done for me. It's done several things, but one major thing it's done is renewed my interest in Twitter.
Yes. Yes, definitely.
I have less than, I think 1,000 followers on Twitter, but I think maybe 700 and change. I really didn't work very hard at it, but I worked harder at LinkedIn.
Yes.
So I have probably close to 6,000 first connections on LinkedIn. But when it comes to Twitter, I really don't have that many followers. And now I see that Blab can be extremely beneficial for me. So now I'm attempting to build up, my followers on Twitter and Blab, because I think that, with all I guess when you're old enough, you have some content.
Yeah.
I've written a lot of content. I've had a lot of experiences to share with people and to listen, and I learn a lot from other people. I spent an hour this morning learning how to write better, and so I'm thinking that those experiences we can share on Blab to make our businesses better. I watched a Blab last night of a lady that spent $5,000 on Facebook, and she's turned it into $136,000 in revenue. And she told everyone how to do it, what she did. She didn't know that she spends $5 a day on Facebook. And over the last 13 months, she's actually made $136,000 from her $5 a day ad spending on Facebook. But she actually showed us, she had to, email us the different format and formulas and I'm losing the term that I need to say here, but I think that shows, we can see her. When I've seen these emails come to my inbox over the last 2 or 3 years, making money on Facebook, and there's someone trying to sell me something.
Yeah, you kind of don't believe it, right? Yeah, it's not believable.
Don't believe it. No, and so this lady comes on, and she said that she and her business partner for the last 3 or 4 years have been making 100 calls a day selling Facebook ads. And she says, there's got to be a better way. So she actually found a better way, and she showed us how to do it.
Wow.
So I'm constantly thinking for my clients, if I'm going to take over their marketing, then I'm constantly thinking about the best social media platforms. That's what your topic drew me to the Blab. What is your favorite social media channel and why?
Why, yeah.
So I have to be extremely efficient, not only with my time, but with my clients' time and money.
Yeah.
So I'm here to learn, to see what works, what doesn't work, why doesn't it work. So that's extremely when we just have a limited format to communicate. If it's just emailing, if it's just texting, if it's one way, then the host or hostess has to wait and get back to you. But with Blab, we can talk it out. We can listen, we can see the comments, and then we can let other people come in and learn.
Whoa!
So that's why I think I'm very, very positive on Blab and what they've created, and I think it will only get better from here.
It's the real time. It's like the real time social, isn't it? The real time social. Hey, listen, guys. Now, I just want to say, some of you are seeing me as frozen, and I'm going to say to you that I'm not sure why, and I think it is possibly. I don't know if it's my computer. I don't know if it's my internet. I doubt it, but I have been having problems with Blab since I've been on it, and when I go to actual other Blab screens, somebody is frozen as well. So please just bear with us. You're seeing Ed, you're seeing Sean. I hope that I'm frozen and I'm not so really it's pretty wild. You have a unbroken stay on the camera. Well, John, I do these things. I have these unbroken. I wasn't I wasn't actually really frozen. I was just doing that on purpose.
And the funny thing is I've seen people on Blab that they're just kind of sitting in their square, quiet, listening, and they're like,
I've seen them, and I've gone forward on the screen and gone, are you frozen or are you real? And then you see the blink and you go, oh, okay, they're cool. They're cool. Hey, listen, Sean, you've got is that your dog? Is that your dog in the back?
Yes, it's my dogs, and I'm hitting the mute as quickly as possible, but they're faster than me.
No, that's cool. Hey, you've got some really, really cool tips on Twitter there, because you're quite, so Ed's going, he wants to grow his Twitter. You've got some really cool tips on Twitter.
And I had, a lot of them I've learned from people like Sam, the tweeting goddess, and there's another person, her ID here on Blab is J Energy, and she had some great tips. But one of the great ones that I got was a quick video message. So if somebody mentions you, whether it's, you came up in the Periscope or you came up through the Blab, I usually send a reply to people I've met on a Blab. Because when you go to do the reply, there's a little, it has to be on your phone. You can't do it on an iPad. You can't do it on your computer. But on your phone, there's a little camera icon. You can click that and choose video. And then you have to flip the camera and you hold it. And unlike a regular record where you just touch it and you record and you hit touch it to stop, when you let go of it, it stops recording. So you have to hold it while you're recording. Yeah. But you can just make a quick video message to them. And it's just... people are so used to on Twitter those auto DMs, like as soon as you follow them, and they don't even bother to take out, by Crowdcast or whatever system they're using. It's frustrating, and there is a place for automation, but I think the world at large, me especially, I'm getting jaded with these auto responses. Auto group, it's like.
I think there is a place for it. I think the place is more, it works really well if you're doing it very personalized, and if you're doing it for a specific kind of campaign or something like that. But I think you have to mix it up with some real stuff. So you have to mix it up within the mentoring or the, like the Blabs or the, Google Hangouts or things like that. Hey, listen, we've got John. John's jumped in to the seat. Am I frozen again or not? Am I okay?
Once I was in a different screen. Let me see. You're frozen.
Am I frozen?
Well, now you're back. Now
cool.
It's really weird.
It is.
So, John, what's your favorite social media channel and why?
Geez. Okay. My favorite social network, man, it's Twitter. Probably Twitter or Instagram or both. I love the fluidity of Twitter. If I'm into like skateboarding one day, I can follow like the world's best skateboarders. And then if I'm into gardening one day, I can follow other gardeners. And if I'm into whatever else one day, I can do that. And then if I change my mind, I can just unfollow them all and figure out what else I want to do. And so I think that's really cool. I love open networks like that where there's no pressure to stay. It's like, you want to follow me for a while, get my tidbits, and then leave. That's great. I've never understood people that get upset when someone unfollows them. I'm like, I mean, I can understand if it's like your mom or like you're like a really close real life friend, but like when it's a nobody who really has no say, well, I say nobody, you know what I mean? When it's someone who has no say or influence in your life, I don't understand why people get upset. I get unfollow call outs all the time where people are like, thanks, John Wiley, for unfollowing me. Hope you know, and I'm like, oh, are you kidding me? Like, you clearly don't understand what Twitter is about. And so, anyways, that's kind of,
that's great. So that's a great tip. I see our lovely tweeting goddess is saying to Remy, don't do it on Twitter, it's popular. I'm not sure what that was. Hey,
that was about automation.
Oh, automation. Okay, that's great. So that was on the automation side. Do you want to jump into one of these seats, tweeting goddess?
Yeah, I'm about to leave, so she can jump in.
Great.
And I'll try to follow on my iPhone if it doesn't crash the the Blab. So thank you for this time, and
thank you so much. Listen, it was so awesome meeting you. Like really awesome. I'm going to go off and go and follow you, and you've got 731 Twitter followers now. You'll have me as well, so you just keep growing. Thank you so much for coming on. There we go, and Sam is popping in. So here we go. Tweeting Goddess.
She's cool. I like her.
Yeah, I met her yesterday.
Bionic woman.
I'm cool, Winnie.
There you go. Hey, Sam, how are you?
I'm great, and I love the topic. And you're still frozen for me, but I don't mind. You look pretty. That's fine.
Okay.
Hi, Sean.
And
it's great to see so many people joining as well. Yeah, Twitter is obviously my favorite.
Yes.
And I was just saying there, you were talking about auto DMs. I don't know why people use those auto DMs, because I can't stand them. I really don't. And to be honest, it's so impersonal. It's so obvious that it's automated, you know, and I just hate them. And I advise anyone that's using them just to stop using them. And another one that is I did a blog post recently on 5 things Twitter users hate and why we won't follow you. And it is Facebook linked to your Twitter as well.
Yes.
Because if you go to a Twitter account and you see Facebook links, that to me says, okay, there's absolutely no point in me tweeting to this person because they're not on Twitter. They're on Facebook and they're just putting out stuff from Facebook. And also, I don't want to go to Facebook. I'm on Twitter, you know. I don't know if it's a snobby thing from Twitter users, but it's just something that definitely I put a survey up and everybody said, no, I never, ever click on a Facebook link. So that's interesting to know. And another thing I never click on is, this might be a bit more controversial, but this is true for me. I never click on promoted tweets because I feel like it's cheating or something, that they're cheating just because they have money. They can do that promoted tweet. You know what I mean? So it's all about Twitter for me. I don't know if you know my story, but like I started using it and to promote my business because I had no marketing budget. And it is very possible to do this on Twitter and to start building relationships. And all I started doing was chatting to people like what we're doing here tonight. I mean, we're getting to know each other on Blab and, you know, I recognize the names and I like to see people's names. It's like going into Cheers into the pub. It's like, hi, it's Sam, yay, you know, and it really makes you feel welcome, you know, because this is kind of the only time I can get on. It's 20 to 12 here at midnight here in Ireland, and the kids are asleep, so I'm not the only one that does this at this time because the kids are in bed, and that's when I started using Twitter, and that's actually the busiest time because that's when small business owners get a chance to catch up on emails and catch up with their building relationships, and trust me, like I've 24,000 followers now, and it's all organically, not one, you know, I never bought like any followers, nothing like that. And it's all just from putting out good content, being nice to others and assisting others, putting out others' content, retweeting them and just chatting and being good to people. And I get, if someone mentions anything about Twitter, I get people doing my own marketing for me. They go, oh yeah, sure, go to Tweeting Goddess. Or sure, she'll know the answer to that. Try her. She might know who to connect you with, because I would know what most people do on Twitter as well now. So if you're looking for someone that does wedding cakes, if you're looking for someone that does grooming, pet grooming, anything like that, I know who the people are, you know?
Yeah.
So.
And Sam, you know, there's a lot of people that say you should tweet so many times a day. What are your thoughts on that? Like, how many, if there is a specific amount of time, is there, and what do you think about that?
Well, I think for a business, like if one of my clients, if I'm running their Twitter account, I do 10 tweets a day.
Okay.
And that is 3 out of 10 would be like directing them to a website or a buy now button or a, you know, something like that. Yeah. The other 7 would be general tweets, like, you know, maybe an article that's relevant to my followers. So let's say, for example, it's an online accounting software company I was running before. I would put out an article that's relevant to business owners, like a business plan. the top tips for creating your business plan, or stuff like that, stuff that we want to learn,
right?
And then those, that kind of stuff. But it doesn't all have to be your content. It can be other people's content, and they're happy that you share it. So they get a notification that you've shared it, and so that's what I do. If you're stuck, if you're time poor though, at least once a day to keep it active.
Right.
Very least though, the very least. Nighttime is a great time, 9 to 11 p.m. and lunchtime for B2B.
And that obviously depends on where you are in the world and your clients are, or where your clients are, right? Because I'm in New Zealand at the moment, and I do have international clients, so it's kind of all over the place.
Yeah, I'd say so. Well, I'm hoping to do the same, get some international clients. So, I mean, I'll probably have to talk to you about that when that time comes. Do you know what I mean? And we can all help each other with tips and exchanging ideas. And that's what Twitter is all about as well, Yeah. And you can create communities on Twitter. I have a very good friend actually in New Zealand. Her name is Linda. I'm going to connect you on Twitter, okay? Because
awesome, thank you.
This is actually a true story. I met her at a bus stop here in Rosslare Harbour where I live. Mm-hmm. We get a lot of people coming off the boat, and it was raining, and she was standing at the bus stop with her suitcase, and I was like, what is that really pretty girl standing here in this place with a suitcase? So I knew she was after coming off the boat or something. So I just turned around and I gave her a lift, and she was like looking at me as if I was mad. And I said, look, it's fine. I'm going into town if you want to get to the train station. So she got in the car. We started talking, and she said, oh, connect to me on Twitter. We connected on Twitter. As it turns out, she writes PR and stuff like that. She does PR. And I knew someone that was looking for a PR person. So I connected her with him. She got a job with him for 8 months. And then there was something that happened that she ended up having to leave the UK. And she ended up staying with me for a month at Christmas.
Yeah.
And that was from Twitter, from keeping the relationship on Twitter. And she'll never forget that. And I'll never forget it. And we're still good friends. And she wants me to go to New Zealand someday. So, and that'll happen.
You have to come. It is absolutely beautiful. You have to come.
Yeah, I believe it's gorgeous.
When you come, you've got to come and say hi to me as well.
Of course. I wouldn't go all the way there without saying hello to everyone. Look, it's like this. Do you find this, John? I remember... like on Twitter, it doesn't matter where you are in the world, there's always someone that you can meet for a coffee or something.
Yeah, I've found that in the States, especially. I used to travel and do music and just do stuff, and I would tweet out, hey, I'm in St. Paul. Anyone have a place I can sleep? And people would open up their homes, and we would go eat a burger and then hang out. And it's a pretty cool thing. So.
Yeah, and I mean, I see Ted Rubin is in the UK at the moment, and he did the same. He told people here on Blab the other day, I'm in the UK, and I saw him putting up pictures of people he's after meeting for coffee over there.
Yeah.
It's brilliant.
Absolutely.
And that's how it works, But that's Twitter. I'm not mad about Facebook, but I do use it for my groups. I have groups on Facebook, LinkedIn, I'm still not mad about it, but I've loads of connections and stuff. But I suppose maybe I don't know how to use it properly. So, we all have our weak points and our strong points. So I'm really strong on Twitter, but like LinkedIn wouldn't be great for me. But I've noticed if you publish posts, that's very effective. You get a lot of comments, you get a lot of feedback and shares and stuff. Instagram's another one I want to have a look at, but you can't be everywhere. So just pick the one that I'm passionate about the most, and that's Twitter.
Yeah. I kind of say to people, find out where your clients are hanging out, find out where your audience is hanging out, your tribe, and pick that one and kind of work that one. Even if you don't like it, try and get to know it. Try and get to know how it works. Now, this is interesting because LinkedIn, I'm running a social media conference in 2 weeks' time here in New Zealand. It's a big conference. And I needed speakers. So... by people that and things like that, I want some credible, like really good people with the credibility. So people like Google, Facebook, and there's a woman here that started business in her garage and is now quite out in New Zealand called Anna Streeton. She does good stuff on her Facebook page. Well, I connected with them through LinkedIn. So I went searching, found them on LinkedIn, had a conversation with them through LinkedIn, and actually managed to have some meetings, coffee, and they've agreed to talk at the conference, which is awesome. So I have Google and Facebook and Anna Stratton talking at the conference, which was through a kind of a LinkedIn engagement. So that there's definitely place for some really good connections and conversation. Yeah.
Yes, absolutely. I'm just looking at the comments. LinkedIn is a very powerful tool, over 300 million users. Now, I don't get much, to be honest, will I be honest? Like what I find is, right, I'm a bit of a messer. And I'm a bit of, not cheeky, but I have a sense of humor, I suppose. And maybe I just like kind of don't mind not taking myself too seriously. And maybe that's been to my downfall with LinkedIn. Yeah. I think they don't take me seriously over there, maybe.
Yeah.
Could be that. Hello.
It's just jumped back in again. Hi, Ed. Welcome back.
I jumped in because I'm getting questions about how to use LinkedIn, and I love. Is it Sam or Samantha? What do you go by?
Sam.
Sam. I love that they don't take you seriously. I think it's pretty funny. But I think that we have each social media outlet is to be used for different reasons.
Yes.
I think the phenomenon behind Facebook was all about friends and likes. As the users grew, businesses began to realize, and so did the executives realize that look, these are customers, these are potential customers, these people using your products, right? Well, for LinkedIn has historically been the network for business professionals. And so I was on LinkedIn for 8 years and only had 400 first connections. And I was in a position many years ago where I did not need to be on social media. I was more of a public official and I did not want to be on social media. And then when I left that position, I had my own business and I needed customers. So I went to social media and I realized that I had only 400 first connections on LinkedIn, and I needed to grow it.
Yeah.
So for my audience, which is more business to business, Facebook really didn't necessarily do it. If I was selling cosmetics or something that was more consumer oriented, Facebook is great because they've got what, 1 billion, how many users does Facebook have? It's almost 1 billion users or something crazy like that.
1.39 billion.
Yeah, 1.39 billion, right? So you can close your eyes and throw a dart and get a customer if you have a good plan on Facebook, if you have the right type of product. But if you are a business trying to sell to, for example, let's say you're selling consultative, let's say you're a sales trainer and you work for one of the big sales training companies. Facebook won't do you that much good, right? But LinkedIn can do you a lot of good because about 90% of all corporate buyers and decision makers use LinkedIn. Facebook is considered a place to have fun by those decision makers. So it's a matter of what are you trying, what service you're providing, what product are you providing, what's your rationale for being on social media. If you're just a stay-at-home dad and you just want to have an outlet to have fun and talk to the guys, then maybe that's Facebook. But if you are a business owner or if you are prospecting for business, you have to consider what social media tools have, are going to reach, which ones are going to reach the audience that you're trying to get to. That's really how you do it. So maybe Sam, maybe for you, LinkedIn just hasn't been an area of focus, and that's fine. But what types of services do you sell?
Well, I'm just thinking I need advice on how to, I manage Twitter accounts for people who don't have time. I also do Skype one-to-one consultations for people who haven't got a great Twitter, and just to give them tips on how to connect more with people on Twitter, because it is different to LinkedIn. It's more relaxed. It's more, I can be a bit cheekier on Twitter. I don't mean cheeky as in rude or anything. I just mean I can be funny and my personality can come out a bit more. I don't have to be wearing a suit. I like my picture. You can see if you click on my, if you click up there, you'll see my Twitter, and it's like got a picture of me looking with a hat. So it's not, it's not serious. I don't take myself too serious, but I know my job I take seriously. Right. But I don't want to change. I don't want to be like the rest of everybody. I want to be different. I want to stand out, and I don't want to be the same as the corporate kind of image. So maybe I'm doing myself wrong but I just don't feel I should change, because this is me and this is the way I've always been, and I don't want to change and conform. Maybe that's the word.
well, let me say this, and then I'm going to get off to let Nancy's making some really good comments.
I can
get off. Going to jump in. Yeah.
LinkedIn and Twitter. But one thing I'll say to you, Sam, is that LinkedIn is so large that you can segment and find the people like you. You can find groups that are segmented based upon your personality, your profession, your industry, and then you don't have to be with the stuffy people like me.
You're not stuffy. You're not stuffy. I'm not talking about you. I'm talking about, I don't know, in Ireland anyway. In Ireland, it's kind of, I can't explain it.
You just met me. You're calling me stuffy already. I mean,
no, I didn't. I said you're not stuffy. You're not stuffy. I need to know. But you see, these could be my potential clients. These corporates don't know how to speak to their customers on Twitter, on social media. They really don't. Like, they don't know how to do it.
I totally agree with that. But I think that if you find there are groups, it's almost like my 14-year-old daughter says, there's an app for everything. Well, with LinkedIn, there is a group for everything. I mean, it's amazing. It's amazing and if there's not, you can create one.
Yeah, I do. I created a whole network of small business owners on Twitter with a hashtag. Irish Biz Party. I've created a women's hashtag as well. I mean, I have done all that, but LinkedIn, the groups, I've asked to join some and I haven't been accepted. So I don't know if I'm a bit too much. Maybe I'm a bit too much of a disruptor,
Sam, don't feel lonely. There's some of them that haven't been accepted in either, and I think sometimes
do they feel we're a threat or something? Maybe I don't know.
No, I think sometimes the groups that they create are for specific things. So like Facebook, you were talking about sales training and things like that, Ed, and you're saying it's great to promote on LinkedIn, but I think once you've done training, Facebook is a great place in terms of groups to then bring people back into those groups and have some really great conversations. And I think we mustn't forget the power of, even though online, word of mouth, because that's how we grow. That's how we grow our our reputations, our audiences. And Sam, I do want to say authenticity, like we both, I mean, Ed agrees on that. Authenticity is Sean's just said, Sam, don't change who you are. But authenticity is everything. So I believe that if you're going to go on LinkedIn, you still be who you are. You should never change for a channel who you are as a person. And I mean, there's just some rules around each channel. LinkedIn is seen as the business channel, sure, but wearing your hat and your phone and things like that, go for it. Put it on there.
Yeah, it's kind of it's nearly my brand now at this stage, and Tweeting Goddess, you see, that's the name of my company. Like that's my name, and no one really ever, even when I meet people at events, it's like, oh, you're Tweeting Goddess. It's not Samantha. It's like, you're Tweeting Goddess.
Yeah.
And, but I think that's another reason they don't take me seriously. But they're starting to take me seriously now, and they're seeing my reach. And if they need help with a retweet, but they privately message me. They don't even do it in public. They private message me and say, oh, would you mind retweeting this? And I'm like, why can't they ask me in public,
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So I do it anyway,
Well, they may not ask you in public for several reasons. One of those reasons might be for competitive reasons.
Okay.
They don't want their competitors to see what they're asking you, yet they need the help.
Yeah.
And I know that. I tweet people with private messages primarily for that reason. I've had enough IP stolen from me over the years.
Yeah, me too.
It's because if it boils down to how we do, right? When it comes down to, I see people that are watching this blab, and I could probably say most of the people here are extremely good at what they do. What's the difference? And some of us do similar things, right? But what's the difference in what you do versus what I do? It's how you do it. It's your personality. It's the tweeting. Don't ever change it. Right?
That's right.
The tweeting goddess is known. I mean, they don't know your real name. Who knows the name for Marilyn Monroe? What's her real name? I mean,
Norma Jean.
Norma Jean.
Thank you, Elton John. Right.
This is true. This is true. Candle in the Wind. That was the song that actually gave it away, right? I mean,
yeah. But it's very interesting. I mean, I think that we're on the ground level. If we took everyone that's on this Blab session, the people that are watching and giving messages, and we would have a strong consulting company for social media. I think everyone has got a lot to offer the world and clients, but I think that what you have, Sam, is you have a unique personality that fits. You found your social media niche, and LinkedIn is not Twitter. Facebook is not LinkedIn.
I see some comments there. Yeah, I'm just reading. Ben is on my team. Being Mino, you see him there? He's on my team, and he's a guy I was watching for a long time. So all the people on my team, I've been watching for like 2 years, 3 years. I didn't ask any of them for a CV. I just went by how they are and how they deal with people and treat people on Twitter. And he just said LinkedIn is the boardroom and Twitter is the bar next door.
Yeah.
I like that one.
But
Nancy gave some good comments as well. Thanks, Nancy. I'll go back over them later. Sorry, I can't do two.
I think he's correct, and I think that LinkedIn is very comfortable.
By
being the boardroom. They're very comfortable there, right? And they're very successful that way. And I think that Twitter is very comfortable in being the bar. Yeah. And I think that's so important. Even as LinkedIn opens up chat, right? They're going to add that, and they should. I said last week, LinkedIn should do this, right? It will never be Blab. It will never be Twitter unless they acquire Twitter, right? And then hopefully they won't change it. Like when Microsoft buys something, it just turns brown or something. It's like, what in the world are you doing? And how could you mess up Skype? I mean, unbelievable. So, but what I'm saying is truly, I think we're on the ground floor of something extremely powerful.
Oh yeah, so
Meerkat, Periscope, and I think that if we keep, we're trying to help business owners, and we just have to remember who our customers are. How are we going to reach them? How do they respond? I mean, someone just mentioned in the comment section engagement. Last night they said it's not only engagement, they have to be engaged, right? It's not only content. Content is king, but you have to have engaged content.
Correct.
Otherwise, you have a boring Blab. You have boring social media.
That's right.
And you have to add value to people's businesses and lives. If you're not adding value, they jump off the Blab. They don't use you as a consultant, and you're just a technology person. You're just a social media guy, a gal. So, as a matter of fact, I'm going to jump off and let somebody else jump in.
Great.
I do.
Ed, thanks a million. I'll connect with you on LinkedIn.
Please.
and everybody that is connecting at the moment, I'll connect with you after the Blab, so I can see you connecting with. We'll connect with
and don't forget to tell a little bird, because lots of people are joining the chat now. So tell a little bird, everybody. If you tweet it out, we'll get more people joining.
Yeah, right. Absolutely. Wow, Byron, gosh.
Yes. Man,
you've got so many hands going up there. Man, people love you. Hey, listen, Byron, before you come in and introduce yourself, let me just quickly, I just want to answer one question that Sherry asked earlier, and I hope Sherry's still here. You said that with the group notifications, you're getting a lot of LinkedIn group notifications coming through. They're driving you nuts. If you go into your LinkedIn profile in the groups, you can actually go and say whether you want to get those notifications from groups. So you can click never, once a week, once a day. Just go find that and you change that setting. So that should kind of help you. I know, because otherwise it fills up the email box and it is very frustrating. So hi, as well, BDMA, can you give us a second, and I'm going to ask Byron to introduce himself. There you go.
All right, perfect. Well, my name is Byron Ingram, and
Byron?
Help small business owners.
For me.
He's coming back now? Yeah, you've come back. Yeah. You've come back.
Go ahead.
Oh, that was weird.
Say it again.
Okay. All right, I'll say it again. I was like, oh, I'm stuck. Oh, well, my name is Byron Ingram, and I help small businesses and entrepreneurs design marketing strategies to attract their ideal audience, because we all have the people that we love to work with and those we love to give out as a referral.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. So, Byron, tell us a little bit about you first. Where are you from? And
Oh, sure, definitely. Well, believe it or not, I'm living outside of Dallas, and at the nice warm heat. I was actually out by the pool earlier today, enjoying the nice warm weather.
wow,
It's not like that here.
it's still chilly over here.
Really?
Still chilly.
You have the
here
same
too.
climate as us, don't you? Really cold, wet, temperate climate.
Because I'm on the North Island, it's not as bad as the South Island. The South Island is definitely more your kind of climate, temperature. We've got the sun out today, so it's not too bad, but it's still the icy wind. We've got that going on. So, so Byron,
We've connected on Twitter as well. You see, this is the lovely thing about Blab. I met Byron recently on a Blab, and then we started tweeting on Twitter, and it's brilliant. And then you start recognizing the names, and it's so much fun.
Oh, wow. And it kind of circulate around, and you can see, because I've seen Sherry McKenzie now. She's amazing. I've seen her coming up on so many Blabs. She gives so much great advice. So really all coming through now.
Yeah.
Now,
yeah.
Right.
Byron seems to have disappeared. BDMA, what is your name?
I'm still here.
I actually just changed that recently because I noticed how everyone. I'm completely new to the whole Twitter thing, to be completely honest. I just changed that. It hasn't changed in Blab yet. My name's Ian Livingston.
Hi, Ian.
I'm a violin professional and also a violin music teacher professional. I've been playing the violin for 25 years now. I've done improv, classical, jazz, you name it. I've probably played it. Recently been trying to get into folk music, but I'm doing a performance series. Samantha already knows about this. I'm doing a performance series among 3 different counties in our area in North Carolina. It's in the triangle of North Carolina. And it's to all the public school, high schools of these counties. And, you know, I'm really trying to connect with the students, the high school students, of course. They're my target audience. And I'm really trying to make classical music cool again in the younger crowds. And that's really difficult if you know anything about their choice of music. And it's just so hard because they see all these other incredibly popular pop stars, rap, R&B, not even classic rock, but hard rock and all these other genres, but not classical, not folk, not jazz, not even classic rock, which I find funny. But how can I make this popular with them? What can I do to make this cool again?
I have an idea for you. I have ideas. I just met. Sorry, is it Lee? Is it? What's your name? Ian.
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 Ian Livingston.
Yes.
Yeah, I know. I just met Ian Livingston, by the way. But I just met Ian at a previous Blab, and then I connected with him on Twitter because my daughter is hearing impaired with a severe language delay, and she plays the violin. And I was really surprised that she chose that instrument because they get a choice in school. And then Ian was just asking me about it there on Twitter. But I think, Ian, if you could put images to your music, like cool images of Kim Kardashian with her baby at a small... I know, but listen to me, bear with me. When you get the gentle moments in these celebrities' lives, let's say, or people like them, all the women want to look at Instagram for examples. That would be where your audience are: Instagram, Snapchat. So if you can, and Periscope, like if you could get on to those with images and then your music playing over the images, or like every teenager needs a little time out as well. I have a 16-year-old upstairs. Okay, I know. If you mix Justin Bieber in, I'm sure you'd be grand.
Yeah. But, I was just thinking a very slow, sad sounding music.
A slow story.
A shot of him being
a story of story of loneliness. Or don't forget that what are the teens feeling at the moment? They're feeling confused. They're feeling lonely. They're feeling vulnerable. If you can get images like that, and then at the end of it say, don't be afraid to talk to someone, or bring a message with your music or something. It's good to talk. Reach out to a teacher. Reach out to this. Like, find out what are the big issues facing teens. There's teen chat hashtag. I'm sure there's a teen chat or something, and reach out to them and say, look, guys, and ask them. Do a little survey and say, why do you not like classical music? What would you like to see what would make you listen to classical music? Ask them. Right. So get to the teenagers, get to the Justin Bieber fans. They're more tweens, but they've gone to teenagers now, you see. So, if you can get into their heads, Snapchat is where they are. They're all hanging out,
Yeah,
are you on Snapchat?
I think I got it recently because I started my business like 4 months ago, and I'm trying to connect all the social media. I actually got into Hootsuite as well. And I'm just trying to set it all up and
Don't worry sorry. Go ahead.
I was just saying earlier on is basically in terms of the channel that you're choosing, you need to find out where this audience is that you're hanging out.
Right.
Where your audience is hanging out. So really from your perspective, go out and do some research. Go out and ask some questions. Put a little survey together.
Go to your local college. Ask the kids there. Get a questionnaire, a paper questionnaire, and ask them, where do you hang out? What social media platform do you use? Ask the principal. Tell him that what you're about, and maybe he might get you in to give lessons. You never know. There are some. Not all
I'm
of
already
the
doing part of my performance series is actually going into all the music classes at each high school, and participating as a helper or as a teacher, giving special lessons based on the composer, different techniques, and performing for them also at the same time. So
I think Brand Lee. What did you call it? Lee? What's your surname?
Me?
Livingston.
Ian.
Livingston. Now, that's a great name.
Yeah.
Does anyone else agree? I like that name.
Oh, definitely.
I would be branding like at Lee Livingston, and make Lee Livingston the brand. Get on Blab. Have you got your violin there?
I haven't played it on Blab, but I've been doing some work on Periscope with it. I let people watch in on my practicing.
Well, I would actually do a Blab with join me for some serenity time.
Okay.
Right. Something like
Very
that.
Cool.
I tune in. Yeah. I tune in for a break and listen to you.
And
go ahead,
another thing you can do, especially if you think about what like dinner time and around meal times, doing something on Periscope. Let's say it's going to be the lunchtime serenade, the evening serenade. Because of how many people love to hear a violin when they're on a romantic date, and they can even be able to send in a request. Oh, could you play such and such for them? You build an audience very quickly.
That's funny. No, that's cool. I actually like that.
And Ian, you
I never thought about making it like. I never thought about making an actual, almost like radio or a form of listening platform.
Totally.
The Lee Livingston hour, the Lee Livingston serenade hour, or whatever.
Right.
You're a good-looking guy to look at. Like, seriously.
I just tune in just to look at you. Be fine.
Play the violin, put some little videos. I think it was Ed that said, or we had Sean earlier, and he was saying, put some videos up, put videos up onto your Facebook page. Let people see you, put words up, get a unique hashtag. Find a unique hashtag.
It's actually really, now I'm very confident about my playing, but it's actually really intimidating because all of my colleagues are on Facebook, and most classical musicians, I would say 90% of us, 95% of us aren't on social medias. We're not promoting ourselves in that manner. Instagram, blogs, for the most part. There's only a few really good quality blogs or vlogs that musicians do. And putting it out there is really intimidating because if we make any mistake with our playing, our colleagues notice instantly and they talk about us.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And when we make mistakes in a public place, it can influence our chance of getting a professional position. I'm auditioning for I got invited to audition for the North Carolina Symphony this coming October, and that's actually a pretty prominent orchestra in the entire United States. And it's for a really good spot in the first violin section. And so, you know, we worry about things like that affecting our professional capability or our opportunities. How much do you think I should really worry about that with my colleagues talking about me, with people knowing? I mean,
well, I better not answer this because you know what I'll say.
I'll throw in my 2 cents. If you always worry about what everyone else says, you're going to be stuck at the starting line, because you never know who's going to listen in to what your music is. It might be that someone from another orchestra says, I love this guy. We need to have him here now.
Yeah.
Focus on the positives.
He's a star. Yeah.
Right. Because the people that are always fearful, they're living a life of fear. They're going to be stuck at some point, versus the ones who say, screw it, I'm going for it.
Yeah. And
I can, go ahead. Yeah.
Sorry. I was going to say to you, I often find people that are perfectionists never go forward, because they're always so worried about what people are saying about them. They're always so worried about just exactly what you've said. Are my colleagues going to pick up that one note that I made a mistake on? And that drives them to not move forward at all, whether it's in their business or whether it's, you know, for you're doing something different. So I use the 80-20 rule, you know, and I always go, if you're about 80% there, just jump on and do it. Like I joined Blab. I'm on here 7 days now. And I literally, my first day went on and did a Blab. Okay.
Yeah.
And I didn't know how to use it. I didn't know what to do. I didn't know anything. I just thought, I'm going to get on, and I'm actually going to be controversial. And my very first Blab on here was about copyright for photos, videos, and music. Just quite an interesting topic. And I had a few people on the first Blab. It was just doing it. Like, just go for it. Do it. If somebody hears that little, you know, people can either be nasty or they can be nice. And if you are really, you're building your profile, people love you. The trolls, people control the trolls for you, honestly.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's true. That happens. I get people sticking up for me all the time.
Yes, they do.
And, you know, Lee, you have a look. I think one of the girls in the chat said, get your pictures on Instagram. Get a photo shoot done. Get a photo shoot. Get of you black and white in a white T-shirt, with your hair spiky or whatever, with the violin and whatever, different poses, and put them on Instagram or whatever. You know, get proper nice photos, because the girls will love that. They'll love you. And you see, then you're building a following. Next thing you know, here's my latest tune. What do you think, girls?
Yeah.
Build relationships with your fans. Start building up a network of fans, and then every move you make, they will actually share for you. They'll share to their friends. They'll say, "Have you seen this guy? He's so cool." You know. So that's just my little. Yeah, I think you're going the right way. But Snapchat, Instagram, I think Twitter. I'll help you on Twitter with retweets, obviously. But you know. And do a Blab, Serenity. It's Serenity Hour with Lee, or whatever, a better name than that, but something like that, you know.
And that's one of the things that I've been struggling with, is topics that can apply to general people, because, you know, I can talk endlessly about different bow techniques, different finger techniques, different positions to hold the bow, you know, and so on and so forth. But, you know, the normal citizen, the normal crowd isn't going to be really interested in the specifics.
Right.
Exactly. And the other thing, and that's the other thing, is the pop songs. They want to hear pop songs, violin version. They want to hear whatever's popular with the violin. Don't
forget, a lot of these millennials, a lot of these teenagers. I know I've got one upstairs. She goes to the beauty salon and she listens to massage music.
Okay.
And that's not pop music. So you can target these girls, and you can target these with your proper music. You don't need to mix it with pop. I would just keep your passion, your music, and the whole idea is you want to share this music with the young people and get the young people liking it. So you could do that by just being you, brand yourself. You need a bit of just branding, you know. I think Lee Williamson, I think that's a good name. I like it, you know.
Ian Livingston.
Sorry, Ian. Sorry.
Ian Livingston.
Very Livingston.
Sam,
it's midnight. It's 23 past midnight. Sorry, I apologize. Sorry about that.
Ian, has that
I'm going to hop off and let someone else on because I'm getting tired now. Sorry.
Sam, thank you.
Brilliant. Thank you so much for having me.
And thank you guys for all the advice. I really appreciate it.
Somebody said that could be your stage name. So if you like that name, it'd be your stage name.
There you go.
Bye.
That was it.
All right, guys.
Thanks, guys. Bye. Bye.
Hey,
Byron, you're on.
Yes.
So Byron, tell us a little bit about you and tell us about the channels that you really enjoy.
Oh, sure, definitely. Like I said before, my whole business is around helping that small business owner design the strategies to help them get in front of their ideal clients. So many people, they don't know who that person is. And then sometimes they don't even know what should they be offering, because sometimes they might have the perfect audience, but they're selling the wrong product. I jokingly like to say, you could have the best steak in the world, but if you're marketing it to vegetarians, you're never going to sell anything. But so many business owners, they do that.
Absolutely.
So you have to balance it out.
Yeah. So you're all about the strategy. You're all about looking at the business first and then making decisions around what that strategy is for the business.
Right.
I always say that's your first step on social media. It's always the first step on social media. So many people dine and they'll go, I just want to try. I'm just going to try Facebook or Blab or whatever it is. That's okay. But I think at some point you've got to step back and go, how does it fit into my overall strategy? Like, is it linking with the audience? Is it linking with, my product that I'm selling? What am I actually going to do with it? How do I monetize it? All those things.
Right. Exactly. And people forget that.
Hi, Remy. So absolutely. People do forget that. So Byron, what's your tip? Like, what's your one piece of advice that you would give to everybody?
To anybody, it is regarding social media. It doesn't matter what channel you're on. You have to be with yourself, period. Because I've seen so many people, they try to be someone else. They think, well, no one's going to like me for who I am. Well, that's the reason why anybody likes you. There's this fear they have to overcome. Because they're thinking they're going to repel potential clients. Well, that's the whole point. You can't be everything to everybody. That there's going to be that person who's going to love you for everything that you do, and then others are going to be like, I really don't like it, and they go to the next person. There's practically 7 billion people in the world. There's more than enough business out there for everybody. You just have to reach out and connect with someone.
It's the abundance. Thinking, right?
Right.
There is so much out there. So much out there.
And you only need a fraction of 1% to be financially free in your entire life in terms of clients. So there's no reason to worry. It doesn't matter what you're doing. If you had 10 or 15 clients who are paying you a certain amount of money every month, you're set. But we always think, oh no, I have to go and get more. No, you just need to find the right ones, because then you're happy, versus you think of the time someone takes on a client, like, oh no, you see their number come up on caller ID. Oh crap, I don't want to take them. You see their message come on Facebook, because they're not the right one. So that's why I say strategy is so important, to avoid those feelings and sensations.
And like, you're kind of going, it doesn't matter. Like, if I don't get that one, it doesn't matter.
Right.
It doesn't matter.
Exactly.
But you know what? I'm gonna. I'll share a little story, and then we'll have a bit of a conversation with you. But I am not online. I actually went to a networking group, because sometimes you got to do these things. You got to go network with people live as well, right? And I went to a networking group, and we were going around the table. There were about 20 of us. I was the second last person to introduce myself, and I introduced myself and said I did social media and gave a really great introduction. And some guy across the table turned around and said, like, outright to the whole table, he went, "That's a lot of bullshit. I won't use that." And I was like so taken aback. I went, "I beg your pardon?" And he went, "No, I won't ever use social media. It doesn't work for my company." And I went, "That's okay. If that's how you feel, that's fine." I said, "Would you like to meet with me?" And he said, "No, I'm not meeting with you because you're going to try and sell me." And I went, No. I said, "What you need to think about is I have a huge following, and I may have clients that are interested in your business. And he was pretty rude, and he said, and thought about it and realized that it was the switch around, like I could have people that could come to him. And then he turned around and said, actually, you know, it would be really great for us to meet. And I went, no, thanks, I don't want to meet with you. And people around the table were going, whoa. And there was a reason for that, because the reason was there wasn't a giving spirit, right? Like here, when we talk about this, you guys are on here and you're giving. You know, you're on and we're all giving each other. It's a giving spirit. I think that's what works in social. And when you're finding people that are just taking, it's not that great. You know, you eventually it doesn't work for you. So Remy, come tell us about you a little bit. Tell us about, you know, yeah, and Shay said it is. Life is too short for mean people. Remy, go for it.
Thanks. It's a pleasure connecting with you guys.
Thank you. Lovely to see you.
Likewise. So what can I say? I love Twitter.
What's your favorite channel?
Yep. I believe right now is one of the easiest. Well, no, right now it's Blab. I think Blab is
everybody loves Blab now.
Social media channel that is taking over, really. And I really love the simplicity of the whole platform. You know, it's so easy. You know, you just log in with your Twitter account and you just start blabbing right away.
You just blab.
It's so easy to connect to people. So right now, I think I'm 5 days. Wow, I do have 5 days on Blab.
On Blab. I'm 7, Remy. I'm 7 today.
Wow, yeah, congrats.
Way to go.
I'm 7.
Yeah, way to go.
And it's so awesome, like, you know.
It's
really,
so
really
interesting to see how, and there's a lot of talk about how Blab could evolve and if it will eventually explode, and I do believe it will.
Yeah.
It's interesting to be right at the start, you know, right at the beginning, to see how a social networking platform can evolve. And we already seen, you know, all these big names, you know, being on Blab, you know, starting chatting and blabbing. Actually.
Yeah.
So I think it's interesting to see, and I'm definitely going to, you know,
do more of it. Do more Blabs.
Yeah.
Do you know what I think is going to be interesting? For me, I think it's going to be interesting to see what we do further with Blab, because it's great sitting here and we're blabbing and we've been blabbing. This has been a really awesome Blab. Like, we've had 131 views on this Blab, and we've had up to 35 people in the room. So it's been a fantastic Blab. But what do we do with this outside of it? Like, you know,
we brand ourselves.
Branding. So are we repurposing some of the information? Are we writing blogs about some of the stuff we've done today? Are we?
You know, I was just recently in a Blab with Joel Comm and Mike Stelzner, I believe. The guy who's running Social Media Examiner. Mike Stelzner.
Mike Stelzner. He's amazing. Yes. Hi, Sherry.
We kind of we were like 300 and something people in that room, or what you call it, you know, a Blab. And we got to see, you know, Michael and
he's awesome,
Joe and Sue, you know, they connected, you know, and obviously they know each other, so we kind of got to see a conversation on a more personal and deeper level, you know.
Yeah.
Now, obviously, we don't know each other, who we are right now on video, but of course, we some of us, you know each other from here and there on social media. But I think basically that's the whole point, you know, to
Yes.
show people that you are a human being, and to be able for your followers, your
Yes.
perhaps even your customers, you know, to reach out and see you from kind of a different perspective.
Yes,
You know,
they see your
to see
personality, right?
Exactly who you are, exactly, with your personality and who you really are.
Yes.
And I think that is so much powerful to be able to do that than to simply, you know, blog, write an article or post on social media and stuff like that, which obviously is valuable, taking that you actually provide value.
Yeah.
But I think, you know, being on social media, people still need a deeper level of connection.
Connecting, yes.
Yeah.
And you know,
they feel that need to somehow see you, you know, maybe even in person would be best, you know, but still doing something like this with Blab, it's I think it's really awesome. Yeah. It's
do you know,
yeah.
Remy, I think you're so right. And I think you talk about being authentic and the authentic self. There's nothing more authentic than this. There isn't anything more authentic than what is happening right now. You really get to see not only the person, the way they're interacting, the way they talk, the voice, you know, it's so it's so raw and real. It's raw and it's real. You know, this is what it is. Exactly. So thank you so much for that, Remy. That's so true. Hey, Sherry. Sherry is amazing. Like she is. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Remy. Thank you for joining. Thank you.
Definitely.
Thank you. Hey, Sherry, you're so amazing. I've seen you on so many Blabs now. And yeah. And now this is going to be interesting because Sherry, I can't hear you. But now I know, so hold on a sec. I know from Blab because this has happened before. I know from Blab. There you go. There you go. There you go. I'm kidding.
Because I was typing something, so I muted myself. So because you were talking, and I didn't want the typing to be heard.
No problem. I thought because yesterday I had a few problems on Blab, and some people I couldn't hear their sound. But when I played the replay, the sound was there.
Ah, okay.
So that was pretty cool. Sherry, tell us about you and what's your favorite social media channel and why?
Oh, I don't know. I used to love Twitter.
Yeah.
And then the I'll admit it, the love affair sort of went down.
Windows?
Because it became harder and harder to connect with people. Some of these people were just blowing up my message box with these programmed DMs, and see, the thing for me, when I go on a platform, I research it, so I know what are some of the rules of the road. So you have an idea. Some of these people don't. You DM someone just, well, in my thinking, just for conversations that you don't want out in the public. And you follow somebody, and then they send you, thanks for the follow, and check out this and do that. And I'm thinking, I just followed you, and when you get 15, 20 of those a day that you've got to just go through, and to some degree you feel obligated to respond to. So, in answer to your question, after my rant, I'll admit it that I'm now beginning to really love Blab, and Blab has rekindled the relationship with Twitter. That I'm much more willing to put up with some of the DMs and this, that, and the other.
Yes, yeah.
Because I am able to have a much deeper connection. Because I've gotten real good in terms of I do a blog, so I was always good at editing, but now it allows me to sort of make deeper connections with people, so I can see them on here, I can talk with them, and then I'll say, hey, I'm going to follow you on Twitter, let's do this and this, that, and the other. So that has become a lot better.
Yes.
Another reason why I also like Blab is that it has made my life a lot easier. That I do a podcast and I have to record the podcast. Some people don't edit. Some people may say I'm a perfectionist. They just record something and put it out there. Yeah. I go back through and I edit, because normally I'll do about 30 minutes and then I'll chop it down to around 15 to 20 and clean up some of the oohs and ahs and that type of thing. Now with Blab, I can do a Blab. They will send me the video and the audio, because before what I would have to do is, I've got video editing software. I'd have to separate out the video from the audio and then have to work from it. So now, even though the audio is MP3, it's still really good quality. So if I do a Blab, I now have video that I can still edit down and put on my YouTube channel. I've got audio that I can repurpose to my podcast.
Nice.
And I do a blog that supports that, all from one session. So that has cut my time down considerably. So
it's awesome. I just want to check with you. Sorry, Byron, and you can jump in here, but I just wanted to check with you because I know that the videos on Blab, if you're recording, stay for 48 hours, is what I've been told. And I know that, and I stand under correction, but that's what I've been told. So what I've been doing with the videos off here is also, like you, I've been throwing them through Camtasia, editing, and then using whatever bits and pieces for repurposing content. Oh, cute.
Yeah, she's down there just hitting my leg, and it seems like she always knows when I'm on Blab, because before she wants
to come out Blab. She's your Blab.
More people know Sunny Girl than know me. Oh, you got it. Okay, so you run it through. So go ahead.
Byron, you were going to say something. What was that?
So this is an idea I want to test out the next time I'm hosting a Blab, especially because I want to use the Blab.
Yeah.
Oh, he froze. Oh no. Oh,
he's been doing that on and off.
Podcast.
So he's been doing that on and off.
Don't move around so much.
Hands up for pets. Wait, hands up for pets. Look at you. You're getting all these hands up for your pet.
Yeah, don't move around so much. Don't move around so much.
All right.
So, Byron, say it again because I didn't hear you.
All right. Go. So what I'm going to test out this week in terms of hosting a Blab is to pipe the audio through Adobe Audition so I can get a clean recording on it. This way, it'll be a higher quality than just the MP3 that I would get from Blab.
No.
Right.
No.
Tika is on here. Does he want to jump in?
Let me say, I did that the first time myself to do my own recording, and I saved it in Wave, okay? And even though it says MP3, once I loaded it into my audio software or whatever, it is pristine. Now, yes, you're talking about lose, but it is so minimal that it just it's a step you can avoid. Try it and you'll yes.
Right.
Yeah.
It's more for the ability if I'm recording the audio and there's something I want to edit out, because then with an Audition I can build a market until it becomes a feature inside of Blab.
Right.
Okay, well see, the software that I use, that's what I'm talking about. Because Yeah, because what I did, I just loaded the MP3 into the editing software, and took out a couple of sections and this, that, and the other. Because the event that I did was 26 minutes, and I was able to edit out stuff down to around actually 13.43. Okay. Yeah. So I was shocked because I was thinking, oh, MP3, and I was really impressed because when I do the podcast, I do a wave, and then I come back and I do an MP3, and I can tell the difference. But, yes, I always do that because that way I've got a clean copy.
Right.
Yes, and I upload the MP3 to Libsyn for the actual podcast. But if I ever need to go back or whatever, I've got a clean copy. This was excellent, and I don't know what they did or what equipment they're using, but it was almost pristine, like I said.
Fantastic. Fantastic. Now listen, guys, this blab has been going for nearly 2 hours. Like, seriously, and I have to get back to work.
Oh, well, let me just say this. Now that I've met you, I would love to do a blab with you. So
fantastic, Sherry. Let's do it.
Yeah, so let's. I've already followed you, so I can find you again. I found that out.
Fantastic.
And we can put something together, okay?
I love it. That's awesome. And anybody else that wants to do a blab with me, just let me know, and I would love to do a blab with you. So Sherry, yes, definitely. Let's spar and let's do it.
Okay,
definitely.
All right.
Now, I'm going to say goodbye. Have a fantastic evening for those of you at night, afternoon, and morning for those of you that are in Australia and New Zealand. Have a great time, and we will talk again soon. See you guys. Bye. And I will go follow everybody that has followed me. I've already started clicking and following you, so if you want to come and follow on Blab, do it. And my lovely Sam, Tweeting Goddess, I am going to organize a beautiful blab with you just about Twitter. So, and I hope you don't mind. So let's do it. And that should work out fantastically. So thanks, guys. Thank you. And thanks for the blab. See you all. Have a great day. Okie dokie. Night. See you. Goodbye. Bye.